Welcome to the Say I Do podcast. I'm Diana, and this is
June.
We're glad you came back to see us. What are we drinking today, June?
Today we have Truchard Pinot Noir. It's from Napa Valley. I know you want to touch it already,
I do want
right?
to touch it.
It's one of my favorite vineyards in Napa Valley. They are known for their clean, organic, biodynamic farming. Plus, their winemaking is extremely honest.
Still family owned for over 50 years, am I
Still
correct?
family owned. We met the original owner and his son, who's going to take over pretty soon.
Oh, and yeah. Okay.
And then their marketing is done by
Tony.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm on the story.
There you
I
go.
kind of know a little bit.
There you go.
And this whole beautiful story began because, let's see, the gentleman owner, husband that you met, right?
Yes.
Anthony Sr., am I correct? His wife was very pregnant. He was in the Army. He was supposed to be going to Korea. She was very, very pregnant. She slipped on a grape at the grocery store. And because of that, couldn't take care of herself, that sort of thing. The Army, being as wonderful as they are, came in and said, we're going to go ahead and put you somewhere else. They were in Texas, by the way. It's where they're from. And we're going to place you in a little place that's kind of bordering the town of, or the state of Nevada. And they decided one day to take a little trip to Napa. And long story short, Anthony Sr. started buying land, little by little, kept buying land, little more land. He thought it'd be kind of fun to have some land. Turns out they decided to grow some grapes. And this is where this wonderful, I'm going to call it a love story because we do love wine. This is where the wonderful story began for them. So today we'll be having that lovely glass of Truchard.
But they're more known with their Chardonnays
Okay.
because Canero's region, it's much cooler in Napa.
Nice.
The upper region that people know, like the Oakville, the Rutherford area, that's much hotter climate, which is not really geared towards Chardonnay. That's why you grow Cabernet there. That's why all the famous Cabernets are from there. But Canero's, much down the south, much cooler, much better climate to grow Chardonnay, and is one of the favorite region, other than Burgundy, that I want to drink Chardonnay from.
I love it.
But they started growing Pinot Noir. And then I'm like, I'm usually not a fan of New World Pinot Noir because they over manipulate it.
Right.
They put too much oak, they do a lot of this and that, and then you lose the characteristics of Pinot Noir.
Sure.
And that's why I like Burgundy, because they leave it alone. Well, one thing, they can't touch it because they're not allowed to touch it.
Right.
So they leave it alone. And then they do about the same thing. Their oak is slightly on a heavier side.
Okay.
But considering it's a Napa, I'm willing to accept that because everything is heavy on oak in Napa.
Now let me ask you this. Now, June is very, very skilled with his wine. He knows exactly what he's talking about. Have I had this before?
I don't think you had their Pinot yet.
Then I'm so excited.
Yeah, you have
Okay.
plenty of their Chardonnay. You even had their Roussanne.
Okay.
And then I've introduced you to their Cabernet, but not Pinot Noir.
I don't mean to get crazy,
Yeah.
but I'm going to do it anyway. Are we pouring yet?
Why not?
That sounds great. Thank
All right,
you.
Let's have some. So the thing with Pinot Noir is a lot of people drink it a little too warm, because here in Vegas, we're already above 90 degrees, if not almost 100 degrees outside weather. So if you're storing your wine on a room temperature, which is pretty hot for the wine, you need to chill it.
Okay.
You want to put it in the refrigerator for about 20, maybe half an hour. Let it come down just a bit so it sits at that perfect 65, 70 degree. That's the drinking temperature. So it should be slightly cooler on the touch, but it's not like a ice cold refrigerator cold. Just
Gotcha.
just a little coolness.
The color is really beautiful. It's very vibrant.
It's almost see-through. That's what you want to see Pinot Noir. If you buy Pinot Noir, it's not see-through. That is a sign of manipulation. Pinot Noir is always, no matter what, naturally it's a see-through wine. So when you look against your hand, the best example is have like a white, like a notepad, or even the yellow one, because you can see the lines through it.
Ah.
That's how you determine the color of the.
We're learning things.
Right.
So what do we say? What are we going to cheers to? Love, wine,
And chapel.
and weddings.
There
You
you
got
go.
it. Cheers.
Cheers. Perfect temperature.
Oh, it's really smooth.
It's little. I call it, it's a little hot. The alcohol is a little touchy.
It's a little heavy.
Yeah, but it's because we just opened it like 5-10 minutes ago.
Needs a little time to aerate.
Exactly. So once it touches with oxygen, let it aerate for a bit, maybe another 20 minutes, give or take.
Okay.
Then that touchiness of the alcohol is going to come down. The fruit's going to come back up.
I'm going to let it aerate right in my stomach. We're going to go with that.
Well, that's one way to do it, but I'm going to be patient.
I hear it's a virtue. Well, let's move on to weddings. I am so excited about talking about weddings. So we had lots of questions. Friends have kind of gotten back to us after our very first podcast, and a couple of things that they wanted to know is what really separates us from all of the other chapels in town. What makes us different, so to speak, than anyone else? What would you say? Off the top of your head, sorry.
I think the biggest difference is our pricing structure.
Okay.
Because we don't nickel and dime. We don't want to nickel and dime our couple.
Love it.
Because wedding itself, for majority, it's comfortable for us because we've been doing it so many times.
That's true.
But
True.
for most people, that's their first or
Right.
maybe second wedding in their life.
Sure.
And it can be stressful because even if you ask your parents, that's a completely different era, right?
Right.
So you can't really ask for advice unless you have a friend who recently got married or you're in that same area. But if you have friends all over the nation and some's in Texas, some's in New York, some is in California, everybody's gonna have different experience.
True. The average wedding, they say, is like $33,000 now.
Ridiculous.
Back when I started, I think it was like 24,000,
yeah,
25,
yep,
right?
Exactly, yep.
That was back in 2009. And now, yeah, it's up to like 33,000. So what we're finding is that most people are jumping into elopements and getting that chunk of change that they did have that they were considering for a big wedding and putting a down payment on a home or a condo, a place to live,
Or
which I think, or even a honeymoon.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Which, that was you.
Yep.
I love that. But that's what we're seeing. And where we are different really is it's honest pricing upfront. And when I say that, the reason why I say that is because you know it like I know it. I've worked all over the city. They have surcharges,
Absolutely.
18 to 20% in some chapels
Yep.
that they're going to tack on top of that regular price that they're talking to you about in the beginning. What else would you say?
Credit card fee.
Credit card fee. Are they
Yeah.
passing that on to the customer?
Some do, some don't. We don't, but I've heard some chapels do charge credit card fee on top of your service surcharge.
So you're looking at 20% plus another 3% if you decide to use a credit card, which more than likely you're doing.
Yep. So your $500 wedding suddenly becomes $650, almost $700 out of nowhere.
That is something else. Also, let's go into some of the little things that can take your price tag up. And that's what? Let's say I want to bring in my own bouquet. What happens?
There's going to be a fee.
Oh, how much is that fee somewhere else?
I heard people charging $50, some places $100. I'm like, we don't charge
bring your
anything
own
for
bouquet.
that. If you want to bring your
Okay.
own at our chapel, no charge.
Now, you're probably like me. That makes no sense to me.
No sense.
Okay. So there's a charge. So if you decide that you want to go ahead and use their floral that's part of their package, say, and you decide to change the color, there's a fee.
Oh, there's a fee to change the
Yes,
color.
there's a fee to change the color.
Oh, okay.
You decide you don't want to do roses, or let's say you're allergic to roses. Guess what? There's a fee for that as well. Let's say you decide you want particular music. Well, I've heard of places that charge you for music. So
Custom music.
$25, $30, something like that, I think it is. They'll charge some $10. But again, honest pricing, that's where we're at. We're not about mediocre service. We're about wanting to put quality out there and really putting our names behind it. This is really basically why we decided to open up this chapel, to kind of do what we're doing, was to be able to come to the consumer, to our friends, to our family, to our local community, and to be able to say, this is the price. No, it doesn't change. we'll take on the percentage if you decide to go ahead and use your credit card. We'll pick that up. The other thing that we're doing, I think that's really special, is with photography. Wait till
Yeah.
you hear. Most places, right?
Yeah,
Tell us about it.
Most places, they will charge you for photographer, but you'll get a certain amount of photos.
Right, like, and you'll only get some of, I remember one of the places I worked at, they only allow, they call them the candid shots, which those are the you can only choose from the photos that are happening during the ceremony, and you choose between 5 and 7 depending on the package that you pay for. Anything outside of that, you have to pay per
photo.
Right, and sometimes they're like $25 for a photo.
Sometimes more.
That's not what we do.
Yeah. So imagine your wedding's done. You have all these beautiful photos of your families.
Yeah.
With your brothers, with your parents, sisters, grandparents.
Right.
And then suddenly, that's going to be $20 a photo.
I don't like that.
Yeah, no, we don't like that. No, I think you should be getting all your photos. It's your special day. Our pricing structure is one flat fee. You get me or another photographer if I'm out sick or something, but you get all of your photos, everything through Google Drive, and you download
It's all
them.
part of your package.
Yeah.
I love it.
Super simple.
Yeah, so that I think is the thing that was one of the big driving forces for us to start our own thing, was to be able to come to people with honest pricing and to deliver quality service. I am all about customer service. I love the customer. I love the love story. I love the couples. I love wine. But that was really one of the bigger driving forces for us. And then let's go back. I want to kind of venture back a little bit for our friends that are just tuning in for the first time. Tell us a little bit about your background. Where are you from?
I'm from Korea.
Wow.
I was born in Seoul, Korea, and then I was kind of raised in the southern part of Seoul. We were only like 50, 100 miles away
So
from.
he's all heart and soul, this guy. Okay, I love it.
Yeah, but during my early life, like 10 and below, so super early, I was...
Baby.
Exactly. I was going back and forth between, not me, with my parents, obviously. I was practically growing up in New York City.
Okay.
I went through New York during all the goods, but also the tragedy. Wow, I can't even say the word,
That's
right?
okay. It's a wine.
I think about a week before I was supposed to departure. I still remember to date.
Okay.
In my head, and I think I was like, what was I? I think I was like 6,
Okay.
7. I still remember going through TSA.
Yeah.
And then that's normal, right?
Yeah.
But at the gate, right before you board a plane, there's another level of TSA, and this was only a week after 9/11.
You're going to make me cry, but go ahead.
At the time, obviously,
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about 9/11, but
Right.
when I look back, now I'm seeing that on textbooks.
Yeah.
Because
You're just a baby,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
It hits you differently. I was like, oh my God, I was part of that.
Right.
And then it definitely makes you appreciate the city more.
Sure.
And then it makes you appreciate, especially service members a little more. Because they're
Absolutely.
protecting this country for us. And then...
And if I may say, we love our law enforcement. We love our first responders so much.
Absolutely.
And if you come to see us, there's a 10% discount for you because we truly believe in what you do. And we are empathetic at the same time, knowing what has happened and knowing our history. Yeah, you were just a baby, and everyone does remember that day.
And then when I talk with much younger friends, younger zone of my friends, they don't know about 9/11.
Right.
It hits me differently. I was like, holy, some of them weren't even born when 9/11 happened, so they don't know.
Right.
And then, I don't know if it was my parents or one of my teachers in high school. I remember them telling me it only takes 2 generations to forget about big history. So so that's why we're in a stage where we forgot about war.
Yeah.
World War I, World War II, even Vietnam War. We are way past that second, if not third generation.
And that's something.
And we are forgetting about that hurtful history. And then same thing with 9/11. I think we're getting to that second generation and then starting to forget.
And let me just say thank you to all of those movie makers, filmmakers that do come out and that they do put out these films, these movies, because this is a lot of the way that we do kind of learn our own history.
Yeah.
Because we have missed it. I don't know anything about the Vietnam War because I was just born,
Yep.
you know, those kinds of things. And I get it. And we're just such a generation apart.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I look older. I'm only 25, just kidding. But yeah, there's so many generations between us. That's really something.
Yeah, our
Wow.
neighbor just walked past by saying hello.
Oh, that was our neighbor at the tattoo shop next door. So if you do come down to see us and you don't have rings and you want to do a little tattoo, they're pretty good over at Wolf Tattoo.
Yeah, they're not bad. I like
So
their work.
I love it. So how do I say in Korean, welcome?
We don't really say the word welcome.
Okay.
We just say hello.
Okay, how do you say love?
We say 사랑.
Sarang?
사랑.
Sarang.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a short word.
I like it. And my background, I'm Hispanic, I'm Italian, and I'm Spanish, Mexican, and Italian. And I speak Spanish. Si hablo español. So we do ceremonies in Spanish as well. Let's see, my background basically. I grew up translating for my mom as a child.
Okay.
And I just remember her struggling because she was actually born in Arizona, but raised in Mexico, which is kind of the opposite for a lot of people. But I remember growing up and having to translate for my mom. I loved it. 6 children. I'm the baby, the favorite, but anyway, I'm the baby. Yeah, I love the language, and I love the fact that I'm able to bring it here to the chapel.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm starting to pick up a little bit of Spanish because
You
of
are picking up Spanish.
Yeah.
It surprises me
Yeah.
sometimes.
I can't talk back at
Right, you can't speak
yeah,
right.
yeah, but I can start to pick up words here
You
and
talk
there.
back well, but the speaking part not there. Just saying. He's not my husband, but I hear it, trust me. Right. But that's great.
Yeah.
I think it's great because you know what? Honestly, we're just a melting pot, right?
Absolutely.
And it's so nice, the people that are walking through our doors. In fact, we just had, I'm looking at this beautiful plant. You can't see it because it's behind you. But one of my husband's coworkers, I think her name's Lorraine. I hope I didn't chop up her name. But anyway, she brought us a money tree. So if you do come to the chapel, make sure when you open the beautiful door that looks like a telephone booth from the UK, make sure you look at the little plant and give it a little love. So that was kind of nice of her to stop in and
Very
leave
nice.
us with that. Yeah.
Very nice. It actually it hides the fire extinguisher.
You
pretty
did
well.
not just go there.
Yes,
oh
I
my
did.
gosh.
It's the truth.
Yeah, well, the fire chief's going to be in here soon after that. Thanks a lot. So let's talk about our history. So I have married over 25,000 couples. For those of you that haven't heard it, I stopped counting at a particular time because it was just so much, so many. But we've had some really great encounters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really,
Good.
some great moments.
Sad.
Yeah.
All kinds.
And you know, with that said, I'm almost thinking I should tell you about a little story. Which story should I go ahead and
Do you have a weird one?
tell me?
Do you have some fun one?
Give me a little hint.
Fire is always the best one to me.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of fire extinguisher.
Okay. Yeah, that was quite the segue. All right. So I'm prepping a bride one day, and I'm talking to her maid of honor, and I'm saying to her, don't worry about the bouquet at the end. I will get the bouquet back from you and hand it to the bride. I don't want you coming into the aisle because we'll have just lit some candles and they're going to be walking down the aisle. We don't want anyone behind them as they're walking down the aisle because then you get those photos where, and see, nobody thinks about these things, but we do. We don't want that photo where maybe the bridesmaid or the maid of honor, I'm sorry, I meant to say maid of honor. The maid of honor and maybe the best man are walking out, or the best person, or the man of honor walking out behind the couple. And they're like doing this, and now we've ruined a photo of the couple coming down the aisle because their arms are in the air or whatever. So I said, just sit back. I will go ahead and get the bouquet from you and hand it to the bride for her walk down the aisle. wait until I give you that cue for you to go ahead and walk down, because we want the bride to make her way completely down so the photographer gets the best possible photos. Well, she didn't listen to me. And what happened next? She decides to lean in because everything was so beautiful, so perfect. Bride looks gorgeous walking back down. One of my favorite things is the back of a bride, because a lot of times you don't see the back of the dress and the way the dress falls, and when they're walking away at the end.
Train and all that.
Oh, I just lose it. But anyway, usually when I have them facing each other, that's the moment where I'm just like in awe myself after 25,000 weddings, believe it or not. And I know that that moment walking down the aisle is something else too. That maid of honor decided to stick her head out and look, because it was so sensational. And what happened? Her hair caught on fire. I didn't even know it. So her hair's on fire. She doesn't even know it, because she is just in this moment. We're all lost in this beautiful fairy tale. They're walking into their happily ever afters. And not to laugh, but her hair's on fire. I then see the one of the groomsmen come running over, and I don't know why he's running over. And then I noticed, oh my gosh, her hair is on fire, and we are patting her down. Yeah, no one was hurt.
No fire
It all
extinguisher.
worked out okay. No fire extinguisher. It all worked out.
I want to see that one day.
But yeah, and then I heard that happened at another chapel as well with you.
Yeah.
And you got to see it and filmed it.
Yeah, it was filmed. Well, it was before me, but yeah, I saw a clip of a fellow photographer showing me, and I was like, wow, this is a real stuff.
Those things do happen.
Yep. But
So
but for our fire marshal, if he's watching, we don't have candles here, so we're good.
that's right. Dennis, we love you. We don't do the Unity candle. We're really sorry. But we can do sand if you decide you wanted to do something with Unity. Just bring it with you. Let us know about it. And another thing, I love the easy way that we're making, getting back to weddings, I love the easy way that you have made everything for our couples when they do decide to book with us. They just have to book online.
Everything's
if they
online.
have any questions or anything else,
Welcome to
right?
Call us.
Call us.
Yeah.
We're here.
That's the thing.
We're
I
happy
think
to answer questions for you, to
Yeah.
change things up.
It's a good two-way street.
Right.
For those who prefer, lay low, do on your own, because I'm pretty sure all of our couples going to do their own study, what wedding venue is good, what photographer is good, all that good stuff. All you have to do is go to our website. You can see our pricing, you can see our gallery, and you can even book everything, arrange everything online as long as I think it was 2 days away from today.
Yes.
So technically, if you want to book something for Friday, it's Monday right now. So as long as it's Wednesday, you can still do it, everything online.
Sure.
You don't even have to talk to us if you don't want to talk to us.
Right.
But if you want somebody to talk just to get confirmation, get some questions answered, we're probably going to be here answering those phones. So whichever route you want to take, you guys got options.
Yeah, and you know what I really love too about everything? At the end of the day, it's about us trying to make it easy for you. It's about you either just picking up that phone, texting us, whatever you decide to do, email, however you want to get a hold of us. We're here because we love it, because we want to be here. And that was one of the things that we explained in our very first podcast, which was we see people that are in this industry and it's a job for them. I have to say, this is my life. When I joked with you earlier and I said, you're his whole heart and his whole soul, S-E-O-U-L. Is that how it's spelled? Anyway, his soul is in it. But I honestly feel every single couple that comes through here, we love that love story. We just honestly are here to serve. And they say that one of the only things that separates you from maybe the guy down the street, the gal down the street, is the service that you provide. But I will add to that his talent when it comes to photography is out of this world. There are photos that I look at of his that I just say when I look, how did he capture that moment? That bride, that groom, they just look unbelievable. And it's such a beautiful art. And at the end of the day, yeah, it does feel like what we're doing is just bringing art.
Yeah, it's out of our heart.
Yeah,
Making
out
art.
of our hearts. Oh, that's sweet. Oh
Right?
my gosh. It sounded kind of corny, but whatever, we'll go with it. But yeah, say, keep in touch with us. Seriously, if there are questions or there are things that you are interested in knowing, is anything you need to know. Our friends from the UK, yes, we love you too. I have a very, very soft spot in my heart for our friends in Ireland. The last name is Marn. My husband's family are their descendants from Ireland, and we have friends there. And we just love our Irish friends. So
I love Guinness because of him.
you do love Guinness because of him. That is so true. Let's talk beer. But yeah, so if you have any questions, you need anything at all, just know this, that we are compassionate. We're into it. We love it. And not a day goes by, really, that we don't enjoy our time with a group, with a couple. And we do specialize in elopements. However, we can seat between, 20, 25 people. We're excited to have you. The space is luxurious, elegant, with a little twist of retro in it. We'll go ahead and we'll post some photos as well so that you can see the rest of the chapel, you were going to say?
I call it modern elegant.
Modern elegant.
Or
I like that.
I think you like the term mid-century modern.
I love
That's
these chairs. I love the little mid-century modern look.
I think that's a lady's term.
I think so too.
Our guys, as long as it looks clean, we're fine.
But our color scheme is really, really quite light and elegant, and it really does go well with any colors.
Yeah, we
so
had,
if you decide to choose
we had a
different
variety
colors.
of wedding dress color so far.
Yes.
Whether it was traditional white or off-white. We had one slightly red that was still great. And then I was amazed how good this paint color goes with everybody.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, because sometimes some chapels, they have, like, even on a white, there's a shades of white, right?
Certainly.
So depending on that shade, one can photograph better than the other.
Yeah.
And then I feel like our chapel so far has been, in my opinion, the most neutral.
Yes.
So I feel like if you were to have another photographer come in and take photo on behalf of the couple.
I was just going to go there. Go ahead, tell them.
I think it's going to be a fabulous way for them to, add their little artistic touch than myself.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell them about, okay, hang on. He's a photographer, right? This is his art. So let me tell you what he has done. He has literally lit this place to where the soft lighting is perfect for every camera. So if another photographer was to come in here, you're using your phones to take photos, all photos are going to be very, very consistent.
Yep.
And that's not something that you're going to see in the other chapels because
they
he
just
loses
put
his mind.
Yeah, because it's not, I don't think it's necessarily a chapel thing. I think it's just a commercial space thing. Because, commercial space, everybody uses fluorescent lights.
Sure.
And then fluorescent lights, unless you're using LED, it can get really grungy quite often.
Okay.
That's why you need a quality light. So color temperature, the softness of the light, and we call it CRI. So CRI is it's a rating where how accurate the light is.
Right.
So if CRI is below 90, that's considered a bad quality light.
So
not for your eyes, but for camera.
So you're going to cry if it's not right.
Yeah.
Okay, go
for
ahead.
For me, yeah, I probably would, because I don't want to deal with, there's a warm light in the background, and there's a soft white light in the foreground. There's something weird going on in the middle. I don't
think about.
No, we want. That's why
consistent lighting.
Yeah, exactly. So podcast right now, we don't have anything except for a one fill light. I think on the frame you see the little pull here. Yeah, I only have one fill light. Everything else is from the daylight shadow, and it's all matching all together.
Right.
Making
and we're
it easy
to find. We're at 628 Las Vegas Boulevard South. We're just close to Pawn Stars. So
Across
if
the
you
street.
did watch Pawn Stars, we're just like kitty corner from them.
Yeah.
Did you say kitty corner, right? We're kitty corner from them. Nice little area, and you can't miss us because of that beautiful red door.
Exactly. Telephone booth.
Right, I do love it.
Yeah.
And it photographs
Yeah.
so well.
And you'll see our logo right on top.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think of that logo? Let us know.
I think it's fabulous.
Yeah, shoot us a little.
Yeah.
I know I'm biased, but at the same time, that heart in the middle, this guy over here, figuring it all out, doing it all. Yeah, I'm
Calligraphy.
absolutely obsessed
There's a story behind this logo.
with the logo.
Because I don't know if I have enough time to go over.
Give him the short version. You
but
can do
short
it.
version is
While I drink wine.
Exactly. I'll tell me how it is after.
It's amazing.
To me, calligraphy is very important because one of my favorite person I looked up is a Steve Jobs.
Okay.
And then Steve Jobs, when he went to college, even though he dropped out, the only class that he thought it was meaningful was calligraphy class.
Ah.
Because it all comes together from from design point, from software and hardware, it all comes together
Wow.
in a calligraphy form.
Okay.
So that's why I take a lot of
Pride?
not necessarily pride. I
Okay.
take calligraphy very seriously
Aw.
because I think that's how you. Because although it's not something you can touch,
Right.
it's almost like you can touch it just by looking at it. That kind
But
of thing,
that's
right?
art, right?
Yeah,
Because you
that's
can
kinda how
feel
I think.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my things is always that I want it to just be legible, but I want it to be beautiful.
Exactly.
And you nailed it, like really
Yeah, it's
nailed
beautiful.
it. Now, I wasn't crazy about the name. That is on my license plate. So if you are driving around Las Vegas and you see a little black car with a little girl with some black hair and some glasses, it's me. And the license plate says, "Say I do." I wasn't a fan of the name for the chapel. However,
You were voted out.
I was voted out. I was voted off the
Yeah.
island. They went with Say I Do Chapel. I love it now.
Power of democracy.
Isn't that true? Boy. Well, I will say this as we're rounding things up,
yeah.
is that the wine is absolutely fabulous.
It opened up, right?
It really did open
Yeah,
up.
that little harshness is gone.
It really did
it's
open
just
up.
all fruit now.
Yes, and
Yeah.
if you have questions about wine, this is your guy. He has a W set. He really knows his wine. I can sit there and ask him sometimes, have I tried this, like you heard me earlier? Or I'll say, do I have that in my collection? He knows exactly what my wine profile is. So I was telling him before we even had this dream, I said, you should do wine profiles for people and help them out on what kind of wines they can buy, because I always said, I don't like a Pinot Noir, I don't like a Chardonnay.
Cabernet,
And
yeah.
this fella went ahead and came out, and he ends up telling me what I love.
Yep.
And I haven't gone back. And honestly, if I could drink wine every night, I would, but it's probably not the best to do. Or is it?
Well, keyword, glass of wine is actually pretty healthy for you.
Oh, that's what my Italian side of my family
glass
says.
of wine.
Right.
Not a whole bottle, a glass.
Okay. Anywho.
Anyhow.
Listen, stay tuned. We were really excited to be with you, whether we're in your living room, in your bathtub, in your bedroom.
Or bathroom.
Or
whatever.
bathroom. Did you say bathroom? That's the only thing I will say no to. Please do not take a picture of anyone on top of a toilet seat. But anyway, moving forward, only because I've seen it in wedding photos. But anyway, please come back and see us next Monday. I think we're going to have a special guest. We are super excited about it.
Yep.
So once again, cheers to wine, weddings, and love.
See you guys next week.
Wow, so good.
So freaking good.